We are currently on the Y, spelled W-Y-E. We'll be completing a 3-point turn to turn our entire train around, which will allow us to head in the correct direction for this trip.
I will eventually. Oh, I like mine on the whole time. Down in hip polish. Hills polish. I like that. I was Helen, Georgia. You get tickets.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking on the it's just, it's like
2.5 hours. Yeah, 2.5 hours through the hills and hollers. 119 miles. Check all the hotels within. Let's stay out of this. I'm gonna stay here till we decide we can go. Yeah, which way are we going? Right. I should on that whenever in San Francisco, that's how they turn the streetcars around. That's the only time I've ever been on not like this. Not 100, not one bit. How much fun was that? I'm sure. How long was it? It's long. They make. I'm done for a minute. I hate going backwards. I'm gonna keep changing seats once we figure out which direction we're going. It is weird to ride backwards. Yes.
I don't mind.
I'm wanting to see those kids ride for me.
Yeah, I'm like,
They just have to go down there like a wide. A couple years ago, with him and the
I'm thinking we're going this way.
Tickets, please, tickets.
You can look up different railways that have, not railways, but people that have turned railway cars into like homes.
If you look to your left in the direction of travel, you'll see what appears to be a gravel road. This is where the original 1858 East Tennessee and Georgia track line would have been. The line was raised to its current position in 1915 due to frequent flooding in the early 1900s. And in just a few moments, you'll see a tree with a yellow line marker indicating how high the floodwaters would have gotten during the Great Flood of 1867 at about 9 feet above ground level. Going over Chickamauga Creek. And making our way towards our second bridge of the journey, this bridge will take us over the Western and Atlantic Railroad. This was the very first completed line headed to Chattanooga. It's currently owned by the state of Georgia, and they lease it out to CSX. Now this line was also made famous in history for its use in the Great Locomotive Chase, which tells us the story of a group of 20 men known as Andrews Raiders. They were Union spies led by James Andrews, and their mission with their raid was to commandeer Confederate engines and do as much damage as possible to the tracks as they made their way north to Chattanooga. On the morning of April 12, 1862, the men boarded the train in the middle of Georgia, making its way towards Kennesaw, Georgia, or it was then known as Big Shanty, where the passengers and crew would stop for breakfast. When the train became unoccupied, Andrews Raiders made their move and began uncoupling the cars and taking off with the engine general. However, the Confederate conductor, William Fuller, noticed his own locomotive leaving without him and immediately gathered his crew together to chase after the engine general, first by foot, then by push car. Eventually, they got their hands on 3 separate locomotives, even going full speed in reverse on a locomotive known as the Texas. The Union spies did not successfully carry out their raid, as they had to abandon their stolen locomotive just 3 miles short of reaching their destination of Chattanooga, where they fled to the woods to escape capture. However, all 20 men were taken captive and placed in 3 Confederate prisons. Most of the men made it out alive, except for 8 unlucky souls, including the leader, James Andrews, who would be hanged in Atlanta, Georgia for being spies. In 1866, the city of Chattanooga would erect a bronze monument of a replica of the engine general as a reminder of the historic chase, and it also informs us that many of these men were the first recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Of course.
Now approaching our third bridge, going over Tunnel Boulevard.
How do we tell she turned? I was like, wait for it, wait for it.
I'll sit up here with you. I don't want to face it backwards.
I like watching it.
We're now making our way towards Missionary Ridge Tunnel. This tunnel was completed in 1858 and it is 986 feet long. It was dug out completely by hand during this time period, As dynamite would not be invented until after the Civil War, and black powder was not used due to the two natural water reservoirs located underneath the tunnel.
Oh yeah, that's a long way. Yeah.
When you hear our locomotive blow its horn, that's an indication to everyone that we are about to enter the tunnel. Once inside, it will get dark, so please feel free to pull out any flashlights on your cell phones or elsewhere so you can see just how close we get to the tunnel walls. At times, it is less than 10 inches. So if you're sitting in the car with the windows that open all the way up, please keep everything inside the car.
That's awesome. That's bizarre. That's cool though.
Making our way into the East Chattanooga Depot area, you do have the opportunity to get off the train and go on our guided tour to view the working turntable, as well as go inside the repair shop where you can see the restorations take place. You can stay on the train if you wish to. If you decide to get off, we'll first go view the turntable, then lead everyone to the shop. This is an active rail yard and we do stress safety. Please do not climb on any of the equipment, including parked cars and locomotives, and stay off the rail lines. This is a guided tour. Stay with the group at all times.
This tonight I'm going to report you. I'm serious. Hear it. No. I haven't slept in the same room in a long time. I'm done. What about your power washer?
So this turntable in front of you was built in 1916 by the American Bridge Company, and it was used in Macon, Georgia for the Central Georgia Line shop there. It would stay there until the end of World War II when steam locomotives would become longer and the turntable could no longer sustain their weight. Later it would be moved to Cedartown, Georgia till 1982 when the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum would purchase it and bring it to its current location. Now our turntable weighs 80 tons, it is 80 feet long. Add our locomotive onto that, that's another 150 tons. So it might surprise you to learn that this turntable used to be turned by hand. There'd be 4 poles extended, 2 from either side of the table, and gentlemen would turn the locomotive around. Now once our locomotive is onto the table, you'll notice a dip in the far end side, indicating to our engineer and the man in the box that our locomotive is balanced and ready to be turned 180 degrees. It'll go from track 1 to track 2, where it will recouple on the other side of the train, allowing us to head in the correct direction for our return trip. So what was in the front of the train on the way here will now be in the back, what was in the back of the train will now be in the front. Once our locomotive has turned all the way around, I'll lead you guys to the repair shop. follow me, I'll lead you to the repair shop.
That was the streetcar at the Chattanooga Choo Choo.
I know it.
Alright, welcome to our repair shop. When the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum first started in 1961, it was founded by a group of local gentlemen who noticed a decline in the use of passenger train travel and an increase in the use of automobile and plane travel. They realized that our future generations might grow up and know nothing about the importance of railroads in our history as a city and as an entire nation. So they decided to do something about it. When they first started, they had absolutely nothing. They had no cars, no locomotives, not even a track line. So what do you have to do to these very important parts to start a railroad museum? Well, they wrote letters. They wrote letters to every railroad shop they could think of, asking for any unused or unwanted cars they'd be willing to donate to the museum. Now, our first donation we located what you now know as the Chattanooga Choo Choo Hotel, where it would be restored and eventually turned into a restaurant. Now, this donation bring in much needed revenue, as well as much needed awareness to what the museum was trying to accomplish. Fast forward a couple of decades, we're now in 1982, and we built up membership, which enabled us to run a turntable you just saw outside, as well as fund this shop you're standing in. So now I'm going to point out a few things in the shop and tell you a little bit about what we do here. Now, when we look up at the ceiling in the middle of the store, there's a big yellow crane. It goes left to right, forwards and backwards, and can lift up to 10 tons into the air. Now, does anyone here have a guess as to how much a lightweight coach car, like the ones you're riding in, might weigh in tons? Any guesses? 8 tons, that's a good guess. Anybody else? 30 tons, good guess. Anybody else? So a general lightweight coach car weighs between 60 and 70 tons. So we're not lifting any cars into the air with our crane, just bits and pieces that we move in the shop to work on, and then move back to the appropriate spot. Now to the right of me, we have our drop pit area. It allows us to go underneath our cars and locomotives to see up close when needs to be fixed and or worked on. We also have available to us the use of 4 jacks that can lift entire cars and locomotives up into the air. However, it's a whole lot easier for everyone if we leave our cars on the ground on the truck lines that go all the way into our shop. Now, another important part of the shop is located all the way in the back. They are currently hidden, but there are 3 machines that are absolutely necessary to maintain and turn the wheels that go on steam locomotives. Now, steam locomotive wheels require a special type of tire. It's not a rubber tire like you have on your cars, but it's a tire made of steel. And you absolutely must have these 3 machines to adhere that steel tire onto steam locomotive wheels. We're the only shop in the nation in North America with all 3 machines functioning. So that means when other railroad shops and museums need their steam locomotive wheels work done, they send them to us. Most recently, we've had shipments coming all the way from Alaska as well as Central Florida. Now, 95% of our cars at the museum were at one point retired, meaning that the original owners found it more lucrative just to buy brand new cars instead of spending a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money trying to restore and renovate them. However, that's where companies like ours step in, and we receive these retired cars, and we get to fix them. So typically on our front 2 track lines right here, we'll just have our more short-term projects. They just do a little fine-tuning before they're back on the tracks. In the back of our shop, we'll have our more long-term projects. Some of these cars don't see the light of day for several years. We are restoring the 610 steam locomotive you see right there, which will make it our 3rd operating steam locomotive here at the museum. As I mentioned previously, most of our cars come in retired, meaning that sometimes we receive cars and they don't have floors, they don't have ceilings. We get to fix that. Other times we completely replace all the windows on cars, add air conditioning and heating to cars that I haven't before, add new lighting, new carpeting, new upholstery, new paint. So there's always something to do at the shop and we're always busy. One of our more popular renovations was an old dining car dating from the 1920s and the 1940s. So if you ever decide to come back to the museum and join us for one of our longer excursions, be it at Chickamauga or Somerville, Georgia, you'd experience what it's like to dine and travel during that time period. Now, if anyone has any questions or comments, please feel free to ask me or our conductor. Otherwise, I'm going to take a left and board back on our train and depart shortly. And take your time walking back. We do have a couple extra minutes, so look around the yard a little bit. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't say.
Pretty cool that they restored it, or they're restoring it, and they got to have it. Not too sure about the other wigwag though.
Colleen that doesn't know to keep her hands in the tunnel, so we gotta keep her up here.
Hanging her head out in the tunnel.
Choo choo.
At least the trolley's here. That's pretty nice. They left it here. When we pass all these railroad crossings, I'm gonna see if the wigwag's laying over there. The one that got taken out, because one of the wigwags at the Choo Choo got taken out, along with the trolley. seeing it. Yep, I don't think the wigwag is here. At least with all those crossings. Oh well. This is what it looks like in the town. Yep,
The older trains, they have the
Need the coffee.
Yeah.
It does, they burn up so much steam. Evaporating and stuff.
Nearby.
How'd you pull that one off? Right. Everybody voted for you.
Very nice.
It is. I like it.
That way they can